Welcome back again. You're watching World Talks and I'm your host, Klaudia Czerwińska. 10 countries, including Italy and Poland, have urged the European Union to reconsider a new carbon price on fuel as part of a separate revision of the bloc's carbon market. Is this appeal going to be considered by Brussels? To talk about the levy and the appeal, Tomáš Zdechovský, Czech MEP, European People's Party, joins me on World Talks. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you very much for your kind invitation.
So 2 days before the European Commission presents the biggest reform of the EU emissions trading system, so the ETS, as I'm going to refer to it in years, Poland and 9 other countries decided to make an appeal. But let us understand, what are the main goals of the European Commission's emissions trading system reform? What does it entail?
In this moment, there is a lot of protest against this system ETS2, because we have it now ETS1, and the European Commission knows that if it will be not function in reality, and highest prices, what can really destroy the European market, will be destroy European economy. It will be against the goals what European Commission wants, and this is why started this reform and why we are discussing how to manage it so that it will be much more pro-European and it will be really function in reality, because you can really plan everything, but in reality it must function.
But do you think that the European Commission is going to be responsive to a call by such a large group of those interested in having that levy changed?
I am absolutely sure that the European Commission has to change, because there is a lot of protest and a lot of member states what really in reality doesn't want continue in this way of the Green Deal. They know that it's very important change the European technologies and European economy, but not in this destructive way. And what we see now in the reality in many member states, that we are closing the companies and we leave from Europe to Asia or to other countries. I think it's not the goal what European Commission wants to achieve. Also, this is the reaction on the protest from the member states, and I think that Mr. Tusk is one of most vocal politicians in this group of countries who really complain about the European legislation and about the European proposals what were really presented in Brussels.
We have a number of different challenges as we look across the board when it comes to the recent situation on the continent. We have increased defense spending. That's something that we've seen. We know that more money is going towards Ukraine, especially after the signing of the €2 billion deal with Ukraine, between the EU and Ukraine. We have instabilities on the fuel market that do not take root from the European situation, but they originated with the war in Iran and the conflict in the Middle East, and we have an increased cost of living that follows as a consequence of all these things that I just mentioned. Do you think that Europe should be facing a new climate tax? Do you think that this is something feasible?
I hope so, that we will not have it any special taxes, European special climate taxes, because everything what you describe, you are absolutely right. We have it here, war with Russia. Russia started this war. We have it here, instability in the region around Iran. Also, this is all Gulf countries are under the pressure of Iran, and no one knows what will be next week. So we have now find the balance that, of course, we have to decrease the CO2 emission, but we cannot really give it all the prices very high that the European citizen will pay more prices for Green Deal. This rest the world, and we don't see many progress in other countries. Also, Europe it's working very hard on the climate neutrality, but other countries are in this way very slow, and we have to find the balance how to manage.
So what about the challenges to industrial competitiveness? Because that's another big point. We have the European Union that has its own industries. However, the European Union is faced with the challenges of having other countries from the outside of the Union bringing their products. Let's, for example, look at the automotive industry. Let's look at the Chinese electric vehicles. We had a conversation about the Chinese components, drone components, when it comes to the deal which was signed between the EU and Ukraine on Wednesday. Do you think that Europe can afford financially to be imposing new levies when it's trying to also support the industry on the continent?
Absolutely. I'm very pleased that I can say in your TV that we need to have it the new strategy Europe first. We don't want to take care about other countries. Sorry for that, but I don't want any Chinese car. I would like European car, and we have.
It's your personal choice. It's fair to state that.
No, it's EPP. It's European People's Party, and European People's Party change totally many proposals, and really we discuss it internally that we would like to have it the politics what will reflect this politics Europe first. And you see it in defense industry. 5 years ago we bought everything from the US. Now, after the Trump pressure, we established new programs and new cooperation between member states. And now we use the European defense company to build our defense. Also, it's a clear action. And the deal between the Ukraine and the EU about the drones shows that we don't need China. I think we can produce all the drones without Chinese components. We can use the components from Taiwan or from other democratic countries.
As we look at what we just spoke about, how do you think, from a standpoint of European People's Party that you represent, where is the balance? How could the European Union find the balance when it comes to having the climate goals achieved while having the economic growth at the same time?
This is very crucial question for next 2 years, but we have it here at recipe. We saw it in the COVID time that really when China closed all this production of all these things which were linked with medical stuff, we started our own production in Europe, and our own production was much more better than Chinese production. And I think that it's only about the will of the politicians and about the courage to change it, because every time it was linked with prices, but prices are not everything. You mentioned the vehicles, electric vehicles from China, but you do know that all the military bases in the Czechia and in other countries now discuss that we will ban the Chinese vehicle entrance to this basis because they are spying everything what the client is doing and where the client is coming. And I think that
there was a big discussion across different countries when it comes to letting those vehicles into military establishments.
Yeah, you are absolutely right, and this is what we have to talk about. This is our security also. Also, we cannot send it all the information to the Chinese intelligences and share this information and this data with Chinese. I think this is something what is for us most important than really some business benefit. And this is what I am saying many times in European Parliament, that it's something what is for us absolutely important is our security first. Europe must be secure, and then we will have it also the economic benefits. When we are not secure, we will not have it here any democracy, any freedom, and any economic progress.
All of these are definitely connected. Tomáš, thank you so much for joining me on World Talks. Tomáš Zdechovský, Czech MEP from the European People's Party, was my guest. Thank you again.
It was my pleasure. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
You too. And so this would be all for now here on World Talks. I'm Klaudia Czerwińska. It was my pleasure to have you here on the program, but don't go anywhere because we have more coming up next.